Today we're comparing two of the newer phones from Samsung and Google to see which is the better option, the S23 FE or the Pixel 8. This one's actually pretty close, so let's go ahead and get started. The pricing of these two are a little misleading because even though the S23 FE starts at $629 and the Pixel 8 starts at $699, you can find both of these on sale for quite a bit less. Storage options are a little better for Samsung. The base models for both start with 128 gigabytes of storage. You only get 128 gigabytes for the Pixel 8 versus 128 or 256 for the S23 FE. The build quality between these two are actually really close. I actually like both, but Samsung is a little boxier around the edges, where the Pixel is a little smoother and rounder around the edges. One of the bigger differences between these two is the overall size. You can see the Pixel 8 is quite a bit smaller with a 6.2-inch OLED display with 1080 by 2400 resolution versus a 6.4-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display with 1080 by 2340 resolution for the S23 FE. Both are also up to 120 Hz refresh rate. You'll also notice how much lighter the Pixel 8 is at only 187 grams versus 209 for the S23 FE. The screens on both seem to be plenty bright enough, but when they're next to each other, you can see the Pixel 8 is a little bit brighter and seems to have a little better viewing angles. It might be personal preference on which one has the better screen, but I feel like the Pixel wins this one just by a little bit. As far as battery life goes, these two are some of the better ones out there that I've tested, lasting about 10.5 hours for the Pixel 8 versus 11 hours for the Galaxy S23 FE in my typical battery drain test. So plenty of power to last a couple days with the mixed usage, even longer if you turn the screen brightness down. So it's probably close enough to where it doesn't matter which one you go with because they both have really good battery life. They also have pretty similar wired charging with 25 watts for the S23 FE, 27 watts for the Pixel 8. You also have wireless charging for both phones as well. Software wise, both of these are on Android 14 as of this video, so there is going to be some things that are similar, but it's probably going to be personal preference on which one has the better software. One advantage for the S23 FE is you get Samsung DeX, plus it has video out if you would need to connect this to an external monitor or TV, or you don't get that option with the Pixel 8. One advantage for the Pixel 8 is how long you get software updates. As far as I know, the S23 FE gets 4 years software, 5 year security updates, where the Pixel 8 gets 7 years of software and security updates. So quite a bit of a difference there. One advantage for Samsung is the fingerprint scanner is a little easier to use, feels like it's more reliable versus the one on the Pixel 8. This is one area where I would like to see Google improve with their phones. It would kind of be hard for me to choose between these two because Samsung and Pixel are two of my favorites as far as Android phones go, but again, probably will come down to personal preference. When it comes to performance, you've got an Exynos 2200 processor in the Galaxy S23 FE versus the Google Tensor G3 in the Pixel 8. These two are really close, as you can see here by the Geekbench scores. You've got a little better GPU score for the S23 FE, but I don't think most people are going to notice that much of a difference when using them for most things or just moving around the software. They also have similar gaming performance, but it might be slightly better on the S23 FE. When it comes to the speakers, in my opinion, Samsung's going to have the advantage here. They both seem to be good enough, probably for most people, but Samsung does seem to be a little bit louder and has better bass, especially when you turn on Dolby Atmos. Here's a quick sample of each just to give you an idea of what they sound like. When it comes to cameras, you've got a triple camera setup on the back of the S23 FE with a 50 megapixel main lens, 8 megapixel telephoto, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide versus two cameras on the back for the Pixel 8. It's got a 50 megapixel main lens and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. The Pixel is a little bit different too with that visor on the back. I have noticed it can get in the way sometimes, but you do adjust to it after a while. You've got a 10.5 megapixel front facing camera on the Pixel 8, 10 megapixel front facing for Samsung. It may be personal preference, but I typically lean towards Pixel phones when it comes to photos and more towards Samsung when it comes to video. Overall though, I feel like you can't go wrong with either one. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what to expect. So as you can see, these two are actually pretty close in most categories. It may just come down to personal preference on which one is the better choice. If you like phone and tablet comparisons, I've got quite a few that I'm working on, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos.
So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.